Good evening. Welcome to this week's um, new revamped, weekly trainings. They're going to be Tech Talk Tuesdays. And so tonight I'm going to be sharing with you 5 steps to create a lead magnet that will attract your ideal audience to your website. So I wanted to quickly introduce myself. My name is Lawanda Ingle. I'm the owner of this Facebook group. And so I just want to welcome all the new members, and I'm glad you're here. Um, and so let's get started with the training. So first, what is a lead magnet? First of all, what is it? So a lead magnet is a valuable piece of content that you've created. Um, you offer to your website visitors in exchange for their contact information, which when you have that information, it'll add them to your email list. And so then that way they're in your system, they're in your, they've started that path down the journey of working with you, or however the process will go as they go along the path of the journey with you. And so it's important to tool for drawing in traffic to your website and building your email list. So let's get started with the steps. So, step one is to define your ideal audience and your offer. So, the first step is creating a successful lead magnet. So, is to identify your ideal audience. Who are you wanting to work with? So, that's the one thing to think about. So, when you have that in place and you know who you want to work with, then you can start the process of thinking of, well, what are their pain points? What are their desires? And what are their goals? And so then that way you'll have those things that you can use to create that lead magnet that's going to draw them in and want them, and it's going to make them look at it and say, I need this. I need this free offer that she's offering me. And so that's going to bring them into your world, into your system. So that's step one. And so take the time to research it, your target audience, um, and understand their motivations. Ask yourself these questions when you're thinking about that process, that beginning step of creating that lead magnet. What are their biggest challenges or pain points? What are their goals and aspirations? What kind of content do they prefer? Do they prefer text? Do they prefer video? Or do they prefer audio? Once you have a good understanding of, your audience, brainstorm and develop those valuable things that are gonna, solve that specific problem that they have issues with, and it's gonna provide them a benefit of, you know, by downloading, requesting your free offer that you have, it's going to provide them those benefits, and it's going to help them want to accept it. And so those are some things to think about when you begin that first step of creating that lead magnet that you want to share. So step two is creating the lead magnet. So once you've got this idea, you've developed it, you know your target audience, you know their pain points, you know what they need that's going to help them and get them on that journey along your path. It's time to create it. So you can use a design tools like Canva is a great design tool because you can create workbooks, you can create PDFs, you can create, videos, presentations, checklists. There's so many things that you can go in and look for into Canva that you can create using Canva. And also there's Adobe to create professional looking lead magnets that you can use. Um, so, and once you're creating the lead magnet, be sure to add in those your brand colors, your logo, and your website URL when you're creating this lead magnet. Add those in there too, so they see those colors, they're going to see your logo, they that's going to be you, that's tied to you. So when they start recognizing you and they're going to, oh, I know her, she provided me with this, they're going to start feeling comfortable with you and start, wanting to see more from what you have if you've taken that first step and you've researched what they're looking for and their needs. So once you've checked it over, it's visually appealing, it's easy to read, and it provides clear value to your audience. Keep it concise and actionable so so your audience can get quick wins from it. So think about those things when you're creating it. You want to keep it, concise, actionable, easy to read. It's something that's gonna here, point one, point two, point three. Something they can follow, and that's gonna give them a quick win and something easy that they can do. So step three, setting up a landing page. So you've created this lead magnet, if you've used Canva or Adobe. So you've created your lead magnet, either it's a checklist or maybe it's done as a training that you've done, a video presentation or a workshop that you've done. It's a checklist or steps to, doing, certain things, steps for something. Once you've looked it over and it's ready and it's set to go. So if you have an email list, you're going to want to set up a landing page. And so you can use that through, WordPress, your email list provider that you use. Lead Pages also does that. If you don't have the other way, Lead Pages is a good one to set up a landing page. Like I said, WordPress, you already have the website through there. You can add another page and it can be specifically for your lead magnet. And so you're gonna connect it, you're gonna create this landing page for that freebie, the lead magnet. And once you have that created, it's gonna, you know, record their information, their name and their email address. And once they've entered it in, it's gonna be, sent to your email provider. An Active Campaign is one, MailerLite. Those are some of the, email providers that you could use, and it's gonna send that information there. And so then they're in your world now, and so you can continue to provide them with, you know, tangible information that's going to help them, and also the services that you provide. You can share them with with them. So step four. So promoting your lead magnet. So once you've created the lead magnet, you've got that landing page created and it's set up and it's ready to go. Now you want to start promoting your lead magnet. So share it on your website, blog, put it on at the top of your website, click here if you want to, find the steps of how to create a social media post or something like that. But you want it up there so they can see it and they can click on it, and it's going to take them to that landing page where they can put in their, name and email address, that information. Share it on your blog if you have a blog, your social media platforms. Use Facebook and Instagram ads also is a way to do that if you're going that route and you use ads. Collaborate with other businesses or influencers in your niche to expand your reach. So to remember to promote your lead magnet with your audience's need in mind. So that's something to think about. Focus on the benefits and how it solves their problems. So that's always a going thing when we're creating these free things, these free tidbits that we want to share with our audience. How is it going to help them? And is it going to provide them what they need to continue to want to reach out to me for help? And so number 5, nurture your email list. So that kind of ties in what I just said. It's gonna, you provide them with this freebie, but you want to continue to provide them with these tangible things that are gonna help nurture them on your email list. So you want to create an email marketing sequence to welcome your new subscribers and provide additional value and you want it to provide it to those who continue to stay on your subscribers. So share your business, your values, your expertise, because you want to build that trust with your audience. You can promote your products and your services and drive traffic back to your website. So you can, speak about a specific blog that you've written. You can share them. It says, if you want to read more, check out this blog that I did on this. And you can add that link from that blog and it's going to take them back to your website. And so you want to continue to also, you've created this lead magnet. So it does two things. It creates traffic on your website and it also brings in, new subscribers to your email list. So you grow your email list and also bringing in future clients into your world so they can know what you provide them. So those are the 5 steps. So step 1 was defining your ideal audience. Step 2, creating your lead magnet. Step 3, setting up a landing page. Step 4, promote your lead magnet. So those are some things to think about. And then step 5 is nurture your email list. So those are the things just a brief overview of setting up a lead magnet and how it helps. It's, yeah, like I said, it improves your website's conversion rate. It's gonna, bring in new clients and new customers that you want to help. So that's an important thing when you're creating that lead magnet. It's the same with your website. You want to focus on who are you trying to attract? Who do you want to help? And so you need to think about that when you're creating these things. And so when start getting in these leads, you're going to want to think about that going forward too, how to nurture them and keep nurturing them with this information that you have and what you want to provide them. So I hope these steps of creating a lead magnet helped you. If you're looking for more in-depth help, especially with using Canva or creating a lead magnet, please reach out to me and I would love to help you. It's a powerful tool, one of those ways to bring in new people into your world. And so, do you struggle with creating, a lead magnet? And so, reach out to me, and I would be happy to answer any other questions you may have. You can post them in the comments. I am using StreamYard, so if you post any questions in there, sometimes I don't see them right away, but if I see them after the training, I will reach out to you and I will answer those. If you're watching this replay, comment #replay, and I will answer those questions that you post down there. And I will see you again next week for our next Tech Talk Tuesday. Enjoy.